Good day. Welcome to Mayor King's TV News. I am Matsu Okwemitorishe and here are the headlines. Delta Assembly marks 2 years with novelty march and Thanksgiving. Benekama raises alarm over threat against Katu and Ijaw identity affirmation in Delta. Teacher backs 12-year jail for raping GSS1 male student in Onitsha. Senate screens Tinubu's 17 nominees for key rivers agencies. Iyayan dedicates song to Benue victim. Telcos begin direct deduction of 6.98 million naira for USSD service from subscribers today. Trump considers joining Iran strikes after calling for unconditional surrender. Liverpool face Bournemouth as Man United tackle Arsenal in season opener. Now the news in details. The Delta State House of Assembly is set to celebrate another significant milestone as the House marks the second anniversary of the 8th Assembly. To commemorate this achievement, the Assembly, ably led by the Speaker, Right Honorable Imamotimi Dennis Goa, who represents Warri Southwest constituency in the House, has planned two exciting events for the celebration. Chief Press Secretary to the Speaker CPS, Nkem Wanke, in a statement entitled Celebrating Unity and Service, said the lawmakers will face off against members of the Delta State Executive Council in a novelty football match at Stephen Keshi Stadium in Asaba this Saturday, 21st June 2025. The CPS explained that the novelty football match is to further promote unity, teamwork, and healthy competition, and camaraderie against critical stakeholders in Delta State project. Wenke disclosed by next week, Sunday, 22nd June 2025, the Speaker would lead members of the 8th Assembly on a special benediction service at the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Asaba. The Fiwaya spokesman of the ancient Baramatu Kingdom in Warri South local government area of Delta State, Chief Dr. Gospel Benekama, has warned that no harm should come to the people of Katu, Zwo Alauba, Ijala communities for tracing their origin to the Ijaw origin and willingly affirming their true identity, alerting and appealing to the state and federal governments and security agencies to act as Ijaws are under threats from their neighbors. He made this appeal on Monday, June 16th, during a meeting with leaders and youths of Baramatu Kingdom at his residence in Warri. He noted that some Shekiri individuals reside on Ijaw and Urhobo land. He warned that any escalation of violence could disrupt the peace of the entire region. Referring to a past incident, he recounted the kidnapping and murder of a Baramatu native in Teijaw, stressing that such atrocities must never happen again. Furthermore, it stated that Baramatu land would not be relinquished to anyone under any circumstances. It called on the government to apprehend those involved in gun running, including the traditional ruler allegedly implicated in such activities. He expressed concern that unchecked gun running poses a serious threat, mentioning intelligence reports that the arms trade was potentially intended to target communities like Ogbijo, Baramatu, Isaba, Egbama, and Debere. Dr. Benekama also referenced the recent killings in Benue State, urging the government to take decisive action against gun running nationwide. He warned that any crisis between the Ijaw and Shekiri would be detrimental to all parties involved. Finally, he called on the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) to complete the electoral processes it had previously initiated. A sexual and gender-based violence court sitting in Awka, Anambra State, has sentenced a 34-year-old school teacher to 12 years imprisonment for raping an 11-year-old GSS1 student. The defendant, Pascal Ofomata, was charged with rape and inflicting physical harm, punishable under Section 3, 4, respectively, of the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Law, and the offense of sexual abuse, punishable under Section 35 of the Child Rights Law of Anambra State. Ofomata, a teacher at St. Christopher's Junior Seminary, 33 Onitsha, pleaded not guilty of the 3-count charge. In his extrajudicial statement, he outrightly denied penetrating the victim's anus. The defendant, however, admitted in a statement to the police that he did it. After intense and intriguing trial and evaluation of the investigating police officer and the doctor who examined the victim, the court upheld the case of the prosecuting counsel and convicted the defendant, sentencing him to 12 years imprisonment. The court, in addition, barred him from being employed in any establishment with persons under 18, such as primary, secondary, and even tertiary institutions. The 17 candidates nominated by President Bola Tinubu to oversee the affairs of Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission, Rivers State Civil Service Commission, and Rivers State Local Government Service Commission have officially declared their assets before the Code of Conduct Bureau. The assets declaration came on the heel of security clearance by the Department of State Services and the Nigerian Police. The leader of the Senate, Senator Okpeyemi Bamidele, disclosed this during the screening exercise by the Senate and committee to oversee the activities of the Riverso Administrator, Vice Admin Ibok Ete Abbas. The development came barely 1 week after President Tinubu transmitted the names of nominees to the Senate for confirmation. The 17 nominees were all presented before the Senate committee by the Special Advisor to the President on Senate Matters, Basha Lado, who divided them into 3 categories. The nominees for Rivers State Primary Healthcare Management Board are expected to take place on Wednesday at the Senate. The Ekiti lawmaker also disclosed that once they finish the screening exercise, the results and recommendations will be presented to the Senate leadership at the next plenary. Now on the entertainment news. Afrobeat singer Iyanya has released a song dedicated to the victims of the recent attacks in Benue State. The attacks, which occurred in Yellow Water in Guma local government area of Benue State, reportedly resulted in deaths of over 200 people. In its emotional tribute, Iyanya consoled the people of Benue, praying for divine intervention and healing. Iyanya shared the song via social media, captioning it, "We are praying for the people of Benue." In the song, he expressed solidarity with the people of Benue, acknowledging the pain they are going through and prays for God's comfort and intervention for those who lost their loved ones. Now on the business news. Telecom subscribers in Nigeria will now be charged directly by their mobile network operators for unstructured supplementary service data, services stating Wednesday, June 18, 2025. This was announced in a statement signed by Gbenga Adebayo, chairman of the Association of Licensed Telecommunications Operators of Nigeria, and Damian Ude, the publicity secretary. The change is in line with the Nigerian Communications Commission determination of USSD pricing and services, developed in collaboration with the Central Bank of Nigeria and other stakeholders. Meanwhile, Altan said the new billing model would allow mobile network operators to charge customers directly for USSD sections, with charges deducted from their airtime balance of 6 naira 98 kobo per 120 seconds. It also assured that the change would not affect the availability or functionality of USSD banking services, and customers could continue using bank USSD codes with sufficient airtime. Now on the foreign news. US President Donald Trump is considering whether to join Israel's strikes on Iran's nuclear sites. As the conflict continues for the 6th day and angry rhetoric cramps up between all sides. It was reported that American strikes could involve using superior weapons to hit an underground nuclear site at Fordo. In the meantime, the president met with its national security team on Tuesday to discuss next steps, recalling that Israel and Iran have exchanged deadly strikes since Friday. However, analysts say Trump's comments suggest a willingness to join the Israelis, despite his earlier call for de-escalation and his vocal support for a diplomatic solution to limit Iran's nuclear research. He has shown increasing frustration over a perceived lack of progress to secure a new deal that will be aimed at preventing Iran from building a nuclear weapon. Now on the sports news. Liverpool will kick off their Premier League title defence at home to Bournemouth on Friday, August 15th, while Arsenal head to Manchester United in a blockbuster clash on the opening weekend. Slot champions have the chance to secure the first points of the new season at Athens as they launch the 2025-26 campaign. Following the Bournemouth game, they have tricky fixtures at Newcastle and at home to Arsenal. Thomas Frank's first match at Tottenham Boss will come on August 16th at home against newly promoted Burnley, while Sunderland made their return to the top flight against West Ham on the same day. The newcomers Leeds play Everton on Monday, August 18th. Ruben Amorim's Manchester United, who will be desperate to make a strong start after a terrible league champion last season, have been handed a hugely challenging test with a home game against Arsenal on August 17th. Now a recap on our headlines. Delta Assembly marks 2 years with Novelty March and Thanksgiving. Benekama raises alarm over threats against cattle and Ijaw identity affirmation in Delta State. Teacher bags 12-year jail for raping GSS1 male student in Onitsha. Senate screens Tinubu'S 17 nominees for key weavers agencies. Inyanya dedicates song to brainwave victims. Telcos begin direct deduction of 6.98 naira for USSD service from subscribers today. Trump considers joining Iran strikes after calling for unconditional surrender. Liverpool face Bournemouth as Man United tackle Arsenal in season opener. That's the news as detailed by Timiola Emanuela. I am Matsu Akwamitorishe. Thanks for watching.